Hello everyone, Andy Wolverton here at Journeys in Darkness and Light. Taking a look today at my top film noir physical media releases for 2021. Now, for the disclaimer, I didn't see everything that was released in 2021. I don't have that kind of money, but I did see a lot. So if I missed one of your favorites, please tell me about it in the comments. And here we go. Let's kick things off with a bang. The UK company Indicator has now released 4 Columbia Noir box sets, 3 of them from 2021. Columbia Noir number 2 was released in February, number 3 in May, and number 4 in September. Of course, the first volume was released in late 2021. Will there be more in 2022? We'll have to wait and see. All of these sets have great restorations, outstanding extras, and superb booklets. These sets are totally worth the price and the shipping. Remember, these are Region B releases from the UK. Now, if I had to pick a favorite from these sets, I'd have to go with Columbia Noir number 2. You can find out more information from the Indicator website, and I'll link to that in the description. Have you ever wondered what film noir in the classic era would have been like without the production code? One of my favorite examples of this is a release from Kino Lorber this year, The Hotspot from 1990, directed by Dennis Hopper. Don Johnson plays a drifter named Harry Maddox who wanders into a small Texas town and finds work at a used car dealership owned by a man named George Harshaw, played by Jerry Hardin. It's not long before Harry is sleeping with both his boss's wife, Dolly, and his accountant, Gloria. But Harry's got bigger plans to rob the town bank. The question here is, who is Harry going to take with him after the heist, Dolly or Gloria? The disc includes interviews with Virginia Madsen and William Sadler, and a new audio commentary by Brian Reisman. Back to the classic era, to 1947 to be precise, for They Won't Believe Me, starring Robert Young, Rita Johnson, Susan Hayward, and Jane Greer. This comes to us from Warner Archive, who put out several good noir titles this year. They Won't Believe Me features an homme fatale, Larry Ballantyne, an absolute heel, who woos women, then abandons them when he remembers all that money his wife has. The film opens with Larry standing trial for murder, but I won't tell you who he's accused of murdering. Let's just say this is not your typical film noir. The picture also presents fully realized female characters, something you didn't often see in film noir titles from this era. That's largely due to the film's producer, Joan Harrison. Eddie Muller considers They Won't Believe Me Harrison's best work as a producer, and that's saying something. The script is by Jonathan Latimer, an excellent crime novelist and perhaps an even better screenwriter. This movie has been hard to see unless you could catch it on TCM, so the release is big news. There are no extras on this disc, but don't let that stop you from picking it up. Criterion also put out some good noir titles in 2021, especially Nightmare Alley from 1947, one of the most wished-for releases on Blu-ray for many years. Now, the Del Toro remake is coming soon, but you really need to own the original. There's so much going on in this film, it would be a cheat simply to call it Carnival Noir, but it certainly is that, with Tyrone Power taking on a different role for him, here as Stanton Carlyle, the barker for a sketchy traveling carnival. Although he's been there a while, he's both fascinated and repulsed by the carnival's geek. Stan is attracted to Xena, the carnival mentalist, but also fellow carnival performer Molly. Stan really wants to learn the secrets of becoming a mentalist himself, but careful what you ask for. This one is loaded with extras, including archival interviews with Colleen Gray, Henry King, and new interviews with Imogen Sarah Smith, and performer slash sideshow historian Todd Robbins. And there's an archival commentary by film historians and noir experts James Ursini and Elaine Silver, plus 6 tarot cards. Don't miss this one. Sometimes you run across a film that no one else is talking about and you feel compelled to champion it. In this case, for me, the picture is a Mexican film and it's titled Espaldas Mojadas from 1955, which has just been restored and released on Blu-ray and DVD separately from VCI Entertainment as part of their Classics of Mexican Cinema collection. Now, Espaldas Mojadas, or Wetbacks, not to be confused with the 1956 Lloyd Bridges film Wetbacks, is about a man desperately trying to get to America, not only for a better life, but because he's wanted by the Mexican authorities. If this sounds routine, it's not. The film delves into character and atmosphere, and director Alejandro Galindo has a terrific eye for visual storytelling. I'll link to my full review in the notes, but please don't let this one slip by. Now, I've been very critical of several VCI releases. Many of them are quite disappointing. But for the most part, they took some time with this one, although there are no extras and the menus are difficult to navigate. Still, this is a must-see, must-own film noir. Another film that's been difficult to see for many years is Alias Nick Beale from 1949, directed by John Farrow with a script by Jonathan Latimer. It's the Faust legend in the land of film noir, with Thomas Mitchell playing Joseph Foster, an honest, upstanding DA who wants to nail a local crime boss named Hanson. Foster wants this guy so badly he's willing to sell his soul to get him. Up pops a mysterious figure named Nick Beale who says, "I can help you with that." With Beale's help, taking care of the crime boss is cake. But Beale tells Foster, why stop there? Why not run for governor, where you could really make a difference? Now, we know pretty much from the get-go who Nick Beale really is, but a straight-laced guy like Foster doesn't. We also find Foster running into a crooked political boss, played by Fred Clark, and a lovely temptress, and much more. This one is a lot of fun, and Ray Milland is, can we say, devilishly good as the title character. The Kino release has a new audio commentary from Eddie Muller. This is the same audio commentary from the Australian imprint release from last year, if you have that. I reviewed this one a few months ago in an issue of the print publication, The Dark Pages. So don't miss Alias Nick Beale. It is terrific. I don't know about you, but I love low-budget noir, and I love it even more when it's based on a Cornell Woolrich story. So we have I Wouldn't Be in Your Shoes from 1948, directed by William Nye, and released through Monogram. This is another Warner Archive Blu-ray release. Despite their love for each other, married couple Tom and Ann have fallen on hard times. They believe their dance duo act is good, but they can't get bookings. Kept awake from howling cats one night, Tom foolishly throws his good pair of tap shoes out the window, hoping to quiet them down. Sound far-fetched? This is, after all, a Cornell Woolrich story. The yowling stops, but Tom's too tired to go outside to retrieve his shoes. The next morning, he finds the shoes on his doorstep. He also finds the cops knocking at his door. A man was found murdered nearby, and the killer left footprints matching Tom's tap shoes. Tom soon finds himself arrested, convicted, and sitting on death row. Anne, meanwhile, sets out to find the real killer. She begs a police inspector to help exonerate her husband, and things get more than a little creepy. I'll just leave it at that. If you think the plot sounds a little bit like Phantom Lady from 1944, you're right. But I Wouldn't Be in Your Shoes is a nice little low-budget gem. If you've never heard of 1955's A Life at Stake prior to the recent Blu-ray release from Film Detective, you can be forgiven. The picture is one of many that faded into obscurities in the mid-1950s. Angela Lansbury as a femme fatale? Well now. First things first. Edward is a struggling young architect slash builder who can't seem to get back on his feet. Then he falls for a woman named Doris Hillman, and meeting Doris as she lounges around the pool in a bathing suit is quite an introduction. But Doris has business on her mind. Well, at least initially. If she and her entrepreneur husband can purchase some promising-looking land, Edward can build on it, and she, a former real estate broker, can sell it. You don't have to be a film noir expert to know that a business deal isn't Doris's only interest. Doris's younger sister Madge, who befriends Edward, shares some very interesting information about her sibling. A poor man's double indemnity? Maybe. While certainly not a lost classic, A Life at Stake is enjoyable with some nice touches, especially as we approach the conclusion. The Blu-ray contains a nice 11-minute supplement on the filmmakers, the Ida Lupino Company, which has a connection to the film. There's also a Jason A. Nye commentary. Another Criterion release, this one directed by Raoul Walsh, High Sierra, brings us an early noir from 1941, the same year as The Maltese Falcon, both of them, of course, starring Humphrey Bogart. This was in my October new releases video, so if you want to know the story, please check that video out. Now, the film looks and sounds great, but the extras on this release are very impressive. First of all, you get an entire second movie, 1949's Colorado Territory, a Western remake of High Sierra, also directed by Walsh. Again, check it out in the October video. This one's loaded with extras, and you gotta pick it up. In my November new releases video, I talked about two great films from Argentina, The Beast Must Die from 1952 and The Bitter Stems from 1956. Both of these releases come from Flicker Alley, both restored through collaborations with the Film Noir Foundation and the UCLA Film and Television Archive. These are region-free discs, and you should know that they come in both Blu-ray and DVD formats. Again, check out the November video on the rundown of all the extras. I'm adding one last movie. I'm bending the rules a bit. I've seen the film, but I haven't seen this release, which is The Fifth Horseman is Fear, a Czech film from 1965, released through Second Run, a UK company. It's about a Jewish doctor living in a rundown apartment in Nazi-occupied Prague during World War II. Now, Jews are forbidden to practice medicine, so when a wounded resistance fighter shows up at the doctor's door, the doc's in a real dilemma. I saw this at the 2020 virtual Noir City International Film Festival and loved it. The Fifth Horseman is Fear is a surreal, frightening look at oppression, occupation, and includes the noir elements of paranoia, dread, betrayal, and fear. This is a totally absorbing film. I hope you'll consider picking it up. Now, Blu-ray.com claims that this is a Region B release, but Second Run's website says it's region free. Extras include a projection booth audio commentary with Kat Ellinger, Jonathan Owen, and Mike White. It also includes two formerly lost sequences from the film, a documentary short, and a booklet with new writing on the film. I'll link to my review of the film from my Noirvember from last year. Again, I didn't see everything released in 2021, so if I left out one of your favorite releases, please tell me about it in the description. And thanks again, as always, for watching. I'll be back soon with my list of new releases for January 2022. Everybody take care, be safe, and happy holidays.